Okay guys, we're live from Sitecore Symposium, and joining me right now I have Damon Kelly, and he is CEO of Enlighten. How are you doing today?
Really good.
That's good. So let's just jump right in and get started. Tell us a bit about your company's relationship with Sitecore.
So we're a Sitecore Gold partner, and we've been working with Sitecore technology for over 5 years now. We're also a Microsoft managed partner, and we've built some IP on top of the Sitecore platform around Net Promoter and some stuff around integrations into Dynamic CRM.
Absolutely. So as well as having a relationship with Sitecore, also you're involved in the SBOS program. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, we've been using SBOS for the last couple of years and working with Alison and the team in Asia Pacific predominantly with that.
Wonderful. So where do you see a great fit for these SBOS services?
That's a good question. We tend to find that one of the challenges that clients can have is they'll buy a platform like Sitecore because they want to achieve personalization, but often they'll kind of build the website and then try and come and do that at the end of the project where it really doesn't make sense. Where if we actually lead with a service such as SBOS, that tends to set up the project so they've got personalization thinking by default, and that tends to give them a far better outcome.
Hey everyone, it's CMS-Connected here at Sitecore Symposium in Orlando. I am joined right now with Troy Outram, who's a director at Deloitte, and I'm also joined by Alison Sansbury, and she's a senior marketing consultant over at SBOS. How are you both doing today?
Good, thanks.
Yeah, great, thank you.
Troy, so what part of Deloitte are you from?
So I'm in Deloitte Digital, and I'm based in Melbourne, Australia. So Deloitte Digital focuses on quite a wide range of digital activities. We also have a marketing brand marketing creative team. We also do a lot of strategy, visual design, right through to implementation work, and we have a managed services team that keep our clients running 24/7 and keeping their websites up to date. A lot of mobile app development as well. So yeah, it's pretty much what don't we do is probably the question really. But yeah, we've got a great team across Australia with probably 900 people now. So it's one of the largest digital agencies in Australia really. So yeah, it's been great.
So obviously Deloitte Digital is a partner of SBOS. How did this partnership really begin?
Well, it was quite interesting actually. We have a joint client based in Melbourne, a government client, and spoke to Alison after she'd done like an SBOS session, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that was happening. It's really great that you did that with the client. The client spoke really highly of the activity and how it went. I guess I would have loved to have known about it beforehand, maybe seen how my team, who have really deep knowledge and experience with that particular client, how we could maybe add a little bit more value to the day. So that was probably the first kind of time I sort of talked to Alison about SBOS. I've known about SBOS for a long time as a function, but yeah, that was probably the more recent sort of, I guess, discussions we had around SBOS. So.
Yeah. And then, so from that, little bit of friction, which does happen. But, we sat down and worked out a plan to go forward. So, what I've now been doing with Deloitte is doing enablement with them and teaching, their staff, people who have got a lot of experience on Sitecore, and even those who have actually never used it at all, and taking them through the SBOS training and the SBOS methodology and giving them a really good grounding in that, and, doing that all, Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne people, and that's been going really well. So the idea now is that, as they go forth and start doing, personalisation and optimisation projects, that I'll continue to consult and kind of be there to back them up if they need it. But, their team is now fully enabled.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just adding to that, like we have a really strong service design team within Deloitte Digital, and a lot of the concepts that we learned through that 2-day SBOS training with Alison across several regions across Australia had a lot of alignment with what we normally do. However, it was how it was tied back to the Sitecore product specifically where it really kind of started to resonate with me and the team of going, this is really actionable. We can start to just do things straight away. We have done personalizations on plenty of websites before, but this approach feels quite strategic and quite, I guess, fairly easy to implement, which for me is what I want to get more of. I want to get personalisation being in every single project we do in multiple areas, not just the homepage or not just a carousel only. So and I think that the clients that I've spoken to through this process have been really big advocates of the whole process as well, which I think for me has been really powerful.
Right now, I am joined with Andy Perry, and he is a Sitecore architect from Insight.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
Good, thank you. Recovered from the jet lag. It's good to be here.
Absolutely, yeah. He came all the way from Australia to be at Symposium, so thank you for being here.
I'm speaking, so I kind of had to turn up.
Yeah, didn't have an option.
No.
So, to get started, could you tell us a little bit about your company and your relationship with Sitecore?
Yeah, so we were previously a company called Ignia. We got purchased by Insight of America, which is a Fortune 500 NASDAQ listed company. We focus on technical implementation. So we're a Sitecore Platinum partner based mostly in Perth, Australia, but we work across the country. We have a strong expertise in Microsoft technologies, so we kind of work across Azure, Dynamics and Sitecore type areas. That's...
Wonderful. So what I kind of want to talk about a little bit more today is SBOS. I know that you guys use SBOS services. Could you tell me a little bit about where you see a great fit for SBOS services?
Yeah, well, for us, as an implementation partner, we focus on the development and on the technical underpinnings of the Sitecore stuff. So we're not really a digital agency, we're not digital marketers. So we leverage the expertise of SBOS on our customer engagements to kind of complement what we do, because that's their specialty, that's what they're really good at, and we focus on what we're good at. So SBOS really helps us then deliver a sort of full service for our customers. And it also frees us, it stops us having to focus on areas that we're not actually really wanting to get into.
Where is SBOS really making a difference in helping your organization succeed with the customer?
I think one of the main things that you want to make sure with your clients is that they're going to ultimately be successful. So if you lead with an SBOS engagement, you really are setting up the client for success, because they've normally developed a business case which is based on personalization. So making sure that you're leading with the implementation really, really helps. And then the other things that we're finding around SBOS with that is sometimes it's good to bring in the vendor's services team, because it will give the existing client more confidence and it allows you to bring in the executive team from the client to make sure that you've got that buy-in across the entire organization.
And when you're working with SBOS, do they work with your team independently, or are they working under your project management?
So how we tend to do it has been like various combinations. So at some points we've had Sitecore and the SBOS team come in, project manage it themselves, really kind of just run that engagement, kind of in collaboration with us, but more without being taking the lead. Then we've had some engagements where we've come in and jointly delivered SBOS. The other way that we've also been doing it is because there's so much demand for SBOS within Asia Pacific, we've been having the SBOS team train our own consultants so that we can then roll that out as well.
Okay, that makes sense. So are there any other services that you think SBOS should offer that would help improve the value for your customer?
Yeah, I think if you look at Sitecore at the moment, they've really been kind of strategically investing into kind of different areas such as Content Hub. They're investing significantly into areas such as artificial intelligence at the moment. And the SBOS offerings today are like amazing around personalization, but I think what we'd be hoping from a partner perspective is that as these other offerings come live in the product, which are things around kind of managing content and managing artificial intelligence, that there are similar offerings that we can get from SBOS to help clients, but then also get trained in ourselves so we can help the entire SBOS team scale.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for sharing your insights with us today. It was amazing.
Cool, thank you.
And since using SBOS, where have you seen that it's really making a difference with your organization to succeed with your customers?
I think it comes back to that, what I said about us being a technical implementer and them being specialists in digital marketing, it really brings another aspect that we don't bring. So it's having them involved right from the start of the project and really working with the customer and us to leverage those features that are in Sitecore that is what people buy the platform for. You know, all the cool stuff, like we can give you a CMS, but we can also do a lot more with SBOS. We can help them to do personalization, marketing automation, analytics, integrate with their back-end systems. But that work that we do is informed by the expertise that SBOS bring that makes sure that our development and our integration work is aligned with those digital marketing goals, which at the end of the day is about customer success and making, you know, a profit or whatever the goals of the website are, and making it more effective.
And does SBOS work with your team independently, or do they work under your project management?
We would be the primary project management arm of any client engagement. So we would get SBOS involved in the project, but they would operate independently. So we'd work closely with them. We'd be involved in some of the initial workshops, the roadmap, developing the requirements with the client. So we'd make sure that we're across that. But then the SBOS technical people would then go off and put together the roadmap and then communicate that with us, and we'd stay across that journey with them, but we wouldn't tell them what to do and when to do it. They deal predominantly with the client, but we stay in constant touch. Mostly we deal with one person. In all my engagements so far, that's been Alison from SBOS, and we really would have one single point of contact, and that person would have a very strong digital marketing expertise and a really strong understanding of the platform. And yeah, that we don't sort of get the A team first and the B team second. You know, we always get the key person, and that person stays with the engagement throughout the whole project.
Well, thank you so much for your insights today.
Pleasure.
It was wonderful speaking with you.
Thank you.